Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jimna. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. If you are new, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, hi. So take this as our car vlog and let us pretend like we are in a car and we're about to talk about something. We are about to talk about something. Such a reading, right? So to let you all know how serious this is for me, I'm filming this for the second time today, and that is because the previous clips were just blurry, so I wasn't sure what happened. But let us get right into this video. A few weeks ago, I had this idea of recording a podcast content to talk about wealth and what it means to have wealth that can be beneficial. I feel like, yeah, things are hard, but I do not like it when I hear people say, oh, people come to me because of what I have, what I can give them. And I'm like, are you more than God? Like, you don't even have what Allah has. And you're already feeling like what you have is too good and too big for some people. But I'm still going to film that content. What is inspiring this video is Umi Taraju's video. She uploaded a content where she had to travel for work. Prior to her travel, she did go for a spa treatment. So right after she got back from that journey, she did, and that she said she needed a spa treatment, and she said something that, you know, to encourage women to be able to encourage men to have theirs, and in that process, when you have your own, you can do whatever it is you want to do to yourself without having to wait for your husband to fund certain aspects of your life. And I so related to that because as someone that is big on self-care and encourage women to be big on self-care as well, one of the things that I hear a lot of women complain about is that, oh, it's too expensive, I don't have time. So resources can be tangible and intangible for different things, right? So some resources are time driven or time bound, some are not. Some is money, right? You need the money, you need like physical, human capital, resources, and all those things. And I would be like, if you don't have money, if you don't have time to take care of yourself, and you don't have money to take care of yourself, so what exactly are you doing? Remember that you cannot give from an empty cup, and this is in all ways like important. Like, it is not just about having that money to be able to give out, it is all, or to use to do for yourself. It's also like, you know, even in your home, your energy can be very contagious. If you are not happy, the people around you are going to get that energy. When she made that statement, when she said that, it felt so familiar and sounded so familiar. Even though Allah have made it easy for us Muslim women to not have to even do anything, but we can depend on our spouses, our fathers, our brothers to provide for us at different stages of our lives, you know, because the men in our lives are responsible for us. At some point, it's going to be your own son that will be responsible for you. There's that status quo that we have become too comfortable with, and that is why I said, don't get too comfortable. Not with your husband's money, or not with your father's money, not over your brother's money, or even your son's money in the future. I remember seeing a post about Sheikh Asim, where somebody sent a message asking him if it is like, what how much right does his parent have over his wealth. And Dr. Asim was, you know how blunt that man is, and this is me paraphrasing on what he said. They do actually not have any right over your wealth. Like, you are their children, and by the natural way Allah have done things, you're forever going to be your parents' child, no matter how old you are, and they'll forever be responsible for you. There are stages we get to in life where our parents don't have enough and we have to be responsible for them, and we don't have, and our parents will still be responsible for us and provide for us shelter, clothing. But what he's trying to say is that it is not an entitlement. No parent should feel entitled to their children's wealth, basically, is what he's saying. But in the Quran, the ultimate ayah in the Quran, that where we pray that, Ya Allah, give us the ability to, you know, to be there for our parents just as they were for us when we were kids. That even seals the deal in whatever that, you know, even if they want to feel entitled, let them just feel entitled. I just feel like women, we have this bad habit of being too comfortable. It is sweet when you're spending somebody's money, but let it not become a habit, and don't turn into a lazy person where, like, to be humble at earning, you know, anything financial. I don't even like talking about it publicly, because I have a very different outlook towards financial independence. And I know, like, I'm a very boundary driven person. And for that alone, I don't infringe on people's rights, don't infringe on my rights. I don't enter your business, don't enter my business. That is how I go about my life. The idea of you being independent is not because anybody wants you to suffer. It is for you to be able to do more for yourself. And you cannot do more for yourself if you do not want more, if you don't have the desire to be more, if you are okay with your start, with your life, at where you are, don't mistake contentment for this thing. For, how will I put it now? Like, contentment is, no matter how little it is, that which you have, you are satisfied and you are grateful for it. The opposite of that is that you're not doing anything. You want people to satisfy you. You want people to do things for you, but you're not even able to do anything. Like, what do you actually bring to the table? That is a valid question. It is not a question to downgrade you. It is a question of consciousness for you to understand what is your bargaining power. I was born, raised, and in the midst of very powerful women in every way you can think about it. Like, I just see how these women are so powerful in their own rights, and I can't even think of me being anything less. It is every parent's dream for their child to be bigger than them, better than them, and all that. But the question is, we as children, can we even be what our parents are? That is a very valid question. Like, most especially if you have women that have been really solid in your life, really solid, really grounded, and you ask yourself those questions. If you've never understand the idea of being financially independent and what it means to want more and be more, I have about 5 to 6 points here that I want to share and why I feel like they are important. And the first point I have is for your own peace of mind. I put peace of mind as number one because I am at a stage in my life where peace of mind is everything over all things. There are things we have control over, and there are things we do not have control over. And my peace of mind is something that I have control over. If I know that me reacting to something is going to hurt me, is going to make me feel sad, is going to spoil my mood, I will not even bat an eyelid. I am regrouping my energy towards other things. There is nothing that beats the peace of mind that financial independence gives to you. You don't have to wait on someone. And that was one point Umita made in her video. She made this point in her video that it's not as if she cannot ask her husband, or she could not ask her husband to give her money to go to the spa. But what she's afraid of at that time is that when she asks him, will he be ready to give it to her? And you can imagine the worry or the argument that can start when you ask your husband for something and he's like, Zambaki Anjima, I'm going to give it to you later. For now, I'm not. Some women will literally pick a fight with their husband for his inability to meet their needs or wants at a particular point in time. I was that woman when I just got married because I'm very organized, and there are times when I need a mister to do something for me, and he's not. He has a nickname in the family, and he's just like my dad, worst case scenario. So I know this, and I had to learn the hard way to understand that my needs or my ask at that time, even if it's not met, is not because they don't want to do it. It's just that they also work with what works for them, and what works for them at that point in time might not work for me. So I had to understand that, and Umita understands that. If she asks her husband at that point, he might not be able to give it to her, but she needs that spa treatment, and she has her money and she can go after it, and she can do it. And maybe a window of opportunity will come. The husband will ask, oh, where did you get the money? Oh, you went to do this. And some good men and some kind men, not to say that if they don't do what I'm about to say, doesn't mean that they are not good or unkind. Don't quote me on that. But they will refund their wives that money. Gaslighting that could have happened, or what it could have triggered in her when if she had asked for that money and she didn't get it at that point, for someone that is tired and stressed, for the peace of her mind, she's able to use her own money to do. The second thing I have on the list is for safety and security. How do you attach money to safety and to security? It won't make sense to you until you find yourself in a situation of life or death. When you have to make a financial decision that can impact life or death, is that it could be as simple as buying medicine. Do you know what it will feel like for you to not be able to buy 500 naira paracetamol or 20,000 naira augmentin or antibiotics for your child or for your parent or for somebody, and they go? Do you know how painful that can be? Seaman Abbas's story was one that touched me so much, that he was incarcerated and he had to lose two of his children because Nigeria happened to them, the system happened to them, and the wife did not have the ability to carry money to take her child to a proper hospital, even though she went to a hospital that they are responsible at that point, because her husband was working for the federal government, for the government of Nigeria, and they failed them, and she did not have her own. That is some safety and security issue that you wouldn't think can ever arise, and you're there thinking that everything, the money, everything that you need to do for yourself, for your life, for your family, needs to come from one person, just because Allah has said, and you totally neglect and ignore the fact that you can actually be more useful for your own self, so that you don't have to be overly dependent on somebody that might not be there all the time, and you can make decisions for yourself and to save the situation at that point in time. The third point that I have here, I'm going to read it out because actually this thing is serious for me. Confidence and assertiveness in decisions you make, ability to take sensible risk. This point is informed by the women that I grew up around, that surrounded me growing up. My mother, my aunties, my grandmothers, my paternal and my maternal grandmother were both businesswomen. One was also an educator at some point in her life. They are both still very much alive, and even in their old age, I still know that they try to make petty business and earn, some money for themselves one way or another. And when these women talk, when they make decisions, when my mother is talking finances and making decisions, I just look at her. My dad is the kind of person, like, this man can sleep like a baby, and he has that confidence that my mom has got it, like she's down for it, she can do it, is what it is. That is how good it is to be financially independent. As a man, if you're watching this, it is good to help your women be independent, not of you, but for the fear of what we don't know that lies ahead, which is a point that comes right after this. But there is just this assertiveness that you have when you're able to use your own money to do certain things, and you don't need somebody's approval because you're so confident, you've done your homework, you are sure of your decisions, you know what decision you're taking, and you're just sure. And it's not to be cocky and overly sure and be rude and arrogant. No, sensible surety in the things that you do. And it can only be so because imagine trying to start a business, and yes, you need money here and there, no matter how little the business is, then you have to go start rubbing your husband's head, rubbing his pot belly, just because you're trying to even lay down the business idea to him, because you're not even sure if he's going to agree to it or not. Because the only reason why he probably would agree or not agree to it, not because the business might not be successful, but because there are things that is going to make, that will be required, the finances that will be required to make this business successful, and you don't know how to go about it. But imagine going to do your research, and you know the implications, the financial implications, and you just go to your husband, babe, this is the document, I'm about to start this business. And he looks at it. And when he sees it, he's so happy, he's so proud of the woman in his life. I've never seen a man that does not love a confident and an assertive woman. Only a man that is insecure. Any man that complains that, oh, my wife is too confident, or she's too assertive, or they misconstrue her assertiveness and confidence as being rude or arrogant, is someone that is insecure. Don't let that have anything on you. It is not about you. It is more about them than it is about you. Not that you're not smart, not that they don't believe that there is something good in what you're thinking, but they are afraid that this might be too good. I'm not also saying that, oh, be confident and now being disrespectful to your spouse. No, there is a natural order of things that we must not change. While we women tend to be very emotional, as social construct have put it, men tend to be logical, right? But again, their own logical nature is just one lane logic. They just see it is either black or is white. We women, we see it in different colors, and we work with intuition. And if you have that strong sense that this thing that I'm about to do, there is something in it, and you know that you don't really need his approval like that, but you do need his approval, there is a way you can still rub his head and rub his belly, pot belly, to get his buy-in, and then you both work together. My next point here is the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown is usually those events that most likely we do not have control over, and we cannot undo them when they happen. What comes to mind, you hearing this, is death. We have seen it in today's world, what happens or what becomes of women that the breadwinner is no more, children that their father is no more. We have in-laws, and may we not have in-laws that the only time that they are good is when that which joins us is no more, is alive, and when he's no more, you see their back, and they turn their backs on you, they turn their backs on your children. May we not know them, may we not raise them, may we not be in their company, because everything becomes a mess when that breadwinner is no more. So being able to do more for yourself financially today is some sort of security, sense of security and safety that we talked about earlier. The Mr. and I have this safety net, and I had to learn from him. Good marriage will open your eyes to a lot of things, and please be willing and open to learning, because you don't know it all. We all come from different family orientations and background, and we see things differently. When somebody is trying to do something, don't think it's because they're trying to stifle you or trying to limit your ability. A lot of times, I remember when we started talking about safety, the Mr. started talking about safety net, it didn't make sense to me. Yes, we save, but when you save, you should be able to go back to your savings, right? But between us, no, we don't touch our safety nets. The funny thing is that now that I understand better, I now police him on that safety net. He might be the one bringing it in, but I am the police of it, because men can take certain risk that does not make sense. The fear of the unknown is very, very real. It should not cripple you. That I'm talking about, it should not make you scared and have unnecessary fears. It is an acknowledgement of the inevitable and a testimony to your faith, and it is for you to get motivated. You tie your camel, you understand that Allah is responsible for your safety. That does not mean that when you're going to bed you should leave your entire doors open, your window open, and snake will crawl in and come and bite you at night. Faith without action is no conviction. If you believe, you will act. That you believe that there is a supreme being up there that will answer your prayer, is for you to actually work in the ways that we get those prayers answered for you. My last point here is going to inform my podcast content, but I stated here that for the common good of all, I have my own jama'ah. Mr. has his own jama'ah. My mom has her jama'ah. My dad has his jama'ah. We all have our jama'ahs, and we all feed into each other's jama'ah. And this is a dream, like the dream to have blessings that are beneficial, not just to me, but to the people around me. Sadly, so people want more, but they are unwilling to give. you see politicians, you see all these wealthy people, and you begin to ask yourself, what exactly do you want this wealth for? Like, why are you gathering so much of it? And yet we have the most impoverished society in the world. Yet we have the wealthiest people as well in the world, from Nigeria, from Africa. And you begin to ask yourself. And one of my prayer is always, Ya Allah, bless me with beneficial wealth or blessings that benefits me and benefits the people around me. It has always been the Mr. and I's dream to be able to reach out to people, to be able to impact lives and all that. And I'm so grateful to the person that I'm married to, and we are able to accomplish this in our only two ways. And there is the desire and there is the need to have more, but I want that more to be the more that is not just for me, but even to the people around me. If I feel so much love in me, I want the people around me to feel that love. If I have so much money, I want people around me to have access to that. That is what I believe wanting more should also mean. Not to go have more and just be flaunting it and, you know, out there. No, it is the more that is beneficial and that has purpose and is impactful. So I hope this video have inspired you to be more, to want more, to seek more, to desire more, to go out for more in a very good way. Zafin Nemabaya Kawo Samu, that is, no matter the hustling that you do, make sure you hustle with sense and don't be in a hurry to get to the destination without going through the journey, right? So I hope this video have inspired you. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and see you in my next video. Bye and stay blessed.